Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Katie Weaver Show. This is Katie. I'm your host. I'm so happy to be here. If you are listening live, it is about 11 a.m. Pacific. And if you are, or noon Mountain Time, I'm all confused. If you're listening to an archive or a replay, I want to also welcome you to the show. I want to let you know we're over in the chat room, and you can find that by heading over to 12radio.com. That's number one, number 2radio.com. Click on the chat button, and you'll be redirected into the Facebook chat. And you'll see my banner at the top of the page, and we're chatting there. You can ask for a reading there or chime into the conversation. We are also live streaming this event, and you can find that by heading over to YouTube or Facebook, looking for Katie Weaver, Domestic Mystic, and watch it rather than listen to it if you would rather. So that's all the housekeeping. That's how to do it. Hey guys, good to see everybody rolling in the door. I have to admit, I barely made it here by the skin of my teeth because I couldn't find a bra. Yep, that's where it was at. Was one of those days. Rest assured, I finally found one. It was just black, and I'm wearing a white shirt, and whatever. It's fine. It's probably fine. Oh man. Well, Christmas is not that far away, and there are a lot of things in my brain right now, and where a clean bra is apparently not one of those things. Anyway, which is not to say this is what I have to say this. It's not because my laundry's out of control. It's not. I don't know what's wrong. It's this ADD brain, I think. It's fine. It's probably fine. Luckily, I was really prepared otherwise, other than getting myself dressed and ready, because that's always the last minute thing. So it all worked out. I'm here. You're here. Life goes on. Okay. I hope you guys are all doing very well. If you celebrate the holidays, I'm curious to know how things are going. If you are prepped or ready and okay, yeah. Or if you don't celebrate, I can honor that too. I always honored I can honor the families that are like, kids, we're not buying Christmas presents this year. We're going to take a trip instead. Every year, Scott's like, we should do that. I'm like, do you understand how much we actually spend on Christmas presents versus how much a trip for 5 adults is going to cost? I know. I get it. I do get it. But here's the problem. I would still buy Christmas presents. I can't not. That is important to me. I would feel very weird about Christmas Day coming and going without presenting my kids with some gifts, or my husband or my sisters, or yeah, no. That never happens. We should probably just take a trip another time. But it's fine. I don't know. You guys ever do that? Forego Christmas to do something else? Like, it's an interesting thought. And for Scott, it's compelling because he's not a huge fan of like gifting. It's a little harder for him. But I love it. So he's really, moving my cheese by even suggesting something so crazy. you know. I think it's the different love languages, maybe. Chris said, "No, brah, no problem. Mailing tape. Yeah, there you go. That's the spirit. I have some camisoles that I thought I could throw one on if I absolutely couldn't find anything. Obviously, now I really need to get a handle on where the hell my stuff is. But that's boring and mundane, and I've been working on much more exciting things. So, yeah. So this is going to be a reading show. We haven't done a reading show in quite a while. I think we've had a lot of talking, and that's good too. It's fine. But towards the end of the show, I really would like to do quite a bit more of the quite a bit more readings today. So bring me your questions. We can talk. We can do mediumship. We can do animal communication. We can do past life stuff. We can do the straight up readings. We can do pet stuff. You tell me. Yeah. Sid said she thought it would be very fashion forward to have a black bra showing through on screen since I have on black sleeves. Well, there you go. See, it's fine. It's what the kids are doing these days. Jane said I'm really cut off at the collarbone anyway, so who would know? And I have to admit that I recorded 3 episodes for True Crime Paranormal yesterday in a hoodie because I couldn't find my bra yesterday either. I have problems. I have obvious problems. Ooh, Jacqueline. Jacqueline said, I grew several pumpkins this year. I've made several pumpkin logs with cream cheese filling. Number 8 log is cooling now. Oh, that sounds amazing. Good work from your own pumpkins. Jacqueline is. ch- M- Martha Stewart has nothing over on Jacqueline. I'll just say that. Yes. Okay. So I'm seeing all of your reading requests, and I promise I will get to them. We are doing it today. Also, always curious to know if there's a topic or a subject that you would just like me to speak on a little bit. I'm happy to do that as well. If there are any thoughts in my little head. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Rebecca says it's a no bra day for her. Speaking of that, maybe you guys don't, I don't know how many of you guys are TikTokers, but there has been this TikTok account on TikTok. That's pretty clear, isn't it? That's like saying you bought something at the dollar store and it was only a dollar. Uh, there's a TikTok account that had this absolutely precious pug named Noodle, and it was Noodle was old and wild, and his daddy would stand him up every morning in his bed, and if he stayed standing up, it was a bones day, and a bones day meant that you were going to get shit done today, and if it was a no bones day, Noodle would collapse back into his bed and refuse to get out of bed. So Noodle became a bit of a prophet of sorts over this last year, and people would watch that account to find out if it's a bones day or a no bones day. And there was even a mention in some kind of a like Pentagon meeting about whether or not is today a bones day or it's not a bones day. Anyway, Noodle died. Isn't that sad? Noodle was old. And he was ready for heaven, I'm sure. So judging by the bones and no bones day stuff. And his daddy is the sweetest man on the planet of Earth and is so heartbroken. So much love to Noodle's daddy and to Noodle for all of the bones days and no bones days and all of the love. But yeah, isn't that something? Yeah. Poor little Noodle. He was all done. Yeah. Yep. Oh, Helen's on her way out to mail cookies to her grandkids. So it was cookie day for us on Saturday or Sunday. You guys mostly probably know. Every year, my sisters and I, we gather to make to do our cookie day, to make cookies. And then oh, fun. It's exciting. Oh, I clicked on the video because I was trying to share it with you guys and was blaring in my ear. I forgot to share myself the video of Cookie Day. We had an awesome Cookie Day. The one it seems like every year on Cookie Day we have one fail where something that we make just goes awry for some reason. I will say we're not always famous for tried and true recipes. Sometimes we're totally winging it and trying stuff we've never done before. And because of that, sometimes Cookie Day probably is you know, excuse me. Sometimes we have fails. But like the year that I made Idaho Spuds and they turned out so really terrible and bad. But anyway, the only challenge that we really had this year was that Christy did gingerbread shapes. So we had gingerbread people, we had gingerbread hearts and stars and candy canes and Christmas trees. And so there was a lot of decorating to be done. which was fine. Except for that, one of the decorators happened to be my 15-year-old nephew. And if you know where this is going at all, we had quite a few boob and penis cookies. No big surprise. It's just what it is. So I'm going to share the video in the chat. This gets my husband every year. He's like, let's get these cookies packed up and be done. And we're like, excuse me, Scott. We have a video to make because it's all about the gram. Okay, I just shared in the chat room the video and a picture of the illicit cookies in case you're wondering. And I'm going to share them in StreamYard too. And yeah, teenage boys, right? I mean, this is how these boys roll, doing stuff like this. To be honest, I'm not gonna lie, I did one labia. I know. I'm just as bad. I'm no better than Jack. Here's Jack's cookies. I'll let you take a peek. Yeah, that's what he did. Not not what I did. So immature. But for some reason, I can't get the video up. So I'm going to screen share it instead. You never know with tech these days. All right, one second. I'm going to screen share the video. I already shared it in the chat room too, but I'm going to screen share it to you guys. We're ridiculous. I know it's true. I get it. I do, but we can't help it. We have fun. All right, here we go. All right, so here's the video of everything we made. So those were, no, I can't remember. Lots of different kinds of cookies. Yeah, we did peanut butter cups, we did peppermint bark, we did the gingerbread cookies. Those are whipped shortbread that were absolutely amazing. Kara did those, and my nephew Stone did twice baked cookies, or sorry, no baked cookies, no baked cookies that were really good. And then we did peanut butter cups and Russian tea cakes. Yeah, everything turned out amazing. It was good. So I brought my portion of our loot home to just put in the garage fridge and wait for the kids to get home because by God, we don't need all of that. But so yesterday I get it all out of the car and it was a lot. And I thought that I could just put all of this on the pans that I needed to bring in and just haul it all into the house in one fell swoop so I didn't have to go out twice because it was snowing really hard. And I'm an idiot thinking I could lift all of that and carry it all. By the time I got in the house, I had dislocated a rib, which that sounds worse than it is. My ribs go out sometimes. Anyway, it it really freaking hurt. And now I need Scott to put it back in for me, which he's really actually good for that. Like it's fine. It's probably fine. But that's what I do, That's what I do. All for the cookies. Absolutely destroyed myself. Rebecca said, "One cookie man is dressed while the rest are dedicated nudists." This is true. It's true. That's the kind of cookies we made. Nudist cookies. Anyway, so I hope these kids appreciate this because the whole day of cooking and muffin up a rib just so that they can have all their Christmas favorites. So, boo. There you go. There you go, Jane. So much for years of gender neutral cookies. I'm seeing an Etsy craft bestseller. This is true. Yeah. Oh, Jessica, my honor. She said, I just wanted to thank you. A few months ago, you told me things would get better. After seeing house burning down with all that was going on, it has gotten tons better here. Took your advice and it helped us all out. I'm so grateful, Jessica. Really glad to hear that. Here's to a better 2023 for you guys. Yeah. It was good family bonding time. You're right, Sean. It was. Also, Scott was whipping up some eggnogs that made me think I'm a good dancer. I'll just say that. Oh, good Lord. Okay. Well, let's get into it. I want to make sure that we have lots of room for readings today. So, Tara has been missing her bra for 2 months. Okay, good. Well, it's not just me who's a big hot mess. Okay, good. Okay. I'm going to share a link here to Luminous in case you guys didn't already receive it in your email. And we'll go over a few things in there and then we'll have lots of time for readings today. Okay, I shared a link and I'm also going to share my screen. There we go. Okay, this cover, I designed this one, well, kind of. I already had the bird design, but I put this one together this morning. These birds have become my favorite Christmas anthem of all time. I don't know why, but I love them so much. And so now every holiday thing I'm putting together has to have these birds on it forever and ever. And that's all there is to it. But aren't they darling? I love them. And I love the cardinals because there's some lore that anytime you see cardinals around Christmas that they are past family members coming to see you, which is wonderful if you live in a place that has cardinals. I do not. So it's not cardinals around here. But for those of you that are, I don't know if you guys remember Jenny that used to have a show here at one too. She was an advisor for a while. She has a cardinal or had a cardinal before she moved that was absolutely beating her door down, trying to get into the house. And she had decided that it was her dad, but it was amazing. And he came back for a few years. It was wild. So, pretty cool stuff about cardinals. Again, if you live where there are cardinals, they aren't here. I'm going to go on magpies. Yeah, since I have lots of magpie friends around here. All right. I called this edition the Focus Edition because you probably aren't. We are feeling scattered and disorganized this week. Be sure you're making lists and checking them twice. No, I mean it. For sure, be making lists to make sure to calm your anxiety so that you know you've got your shit together. That's really important. But also because you need to be able to give yourself an opportunity to relax a little bit too. So make sure that you are giving yourself an opportunity right now. Oh, good Lord. Oh, now I'm putting comments on the screen. How did I do that? Trying to, there we go. I'm trying to delete a spammer. There, I got him. Okay. Sorry, guys. Anyway, so focus. Get your shit together. I have a giant whiteboard in my kitchen. I have so much scrawled on that. That has to go before the kids get here because it has Christmas lists for literally everyone in our family, except for Scott and me, jotted down on it. But that's how I'm keeping my shit together. There's a lot of us. When we all meet, and Micah sprung it on me last night that his girlfriend's coming home with him, which is wonderful. I'm thrilled to have her. I haven't even met her yet, so I'm thrilled to have her. But we all do gifts together and sit and open all of our presents. And I would never want her to sit, get to sit and watch us all open presents for an hour without having some things for her. So I got some stuff ordered last night and I was already going to make her a couple of things. So I'll do that too. But anyway, so that threw a kind of a last minute Hitchin might get along, but it's okay. We'll figure it out. Okay. All right. Because we're deep into the holidays, I brought you a mental health check in. It's okay if you have a bad day, it's okay if you make mistakes. That's a hard one for, pardon me. That's a hard one for a lot of people who were not allowed to make mistakes as children. If you had parents that you could not trust, or sometimes teachers or coaches that wouldn't allow you to make a mistake without a lot of shame, sometimes as an adult, it's very hard, or a boss, I should include that, to allow yourself to make a mistake without beating the shit out of yourself, right? It's okay. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to mess up. Everyone does. Some people you'll find are much, much harder on everybody else than they are on themselves. They'll allow themselves to make a mistake, no problem. But by God, you better not make a mistake. Well, no. Everybody makes mistakes sometimes. Give yourself a lot of grace. Don't talk shit to yourself. Don't judge yourself harshly. Don't be mean to you. You don't deserve that in any way whatsoever. So give yourself an opportunity here to make mistakes and laugh it off. Give yourself grace. Don't be too hard on yourself. It's okay if you are less than perfect. If you can't find your bra, you can't find your bra. It's fine. It's fine. It's okay if you ask for personal space. Sometimes this time of year, there's a lot of expectations about what you're supposed to do, where you're supposed to be, parties, gatherings, experiences, shopping. If you aren't into it, don't do it. This is a hard time for people that, especially for introverts that don't want to have to. It's okay to go home early. It's okay to go outside for a while or to sneak into a back bedroom just to breathe for a minute. It's okay to give yourself the space you need. It's okay to put yourself first. You need that. Do you think anyone's going to do that for you but you? They're probably not. Probably not. So when you need a break, you take a break. When you need a minute, you take a minute. Again, if there are things about the holidays that you hate that are hard to put yourself through, don't freaking do it. Yep. And it's okay to take a break from everything. 1000%. The holidays are going to come and the holidays are going to go. It's okay to just do what you can do. It's okay. I also wish this list said it's okay to not spend more than you can spend because a lot of us really struggle this time of year with spending way more money than we should, right? I mean, people a lot of times go into debt for the holidays. That's so hard. It's hard to get out of that cycle. It's hard to reel yourself in sometimes, but be kind to yourself. And not overspending is being kind to yourself. Okay, bitch scopes. Kelly called this week teenager energy. When she sent me this, I said, "Oh dear God, I don't know if I can handle it." She said, "It's okay. It's going to be energetic. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be, well, like teenagers." Okay, mercurial, she said. Adjective, subjective to sudden or unpredictable changes of mood or mind. Synonyms: volatile, capricious, temperamental, excitable, fickle, changeable. That's what this week is about. So buckle in, make that list, go outside from time to time, put yourself in timeout when necessary. You know the ropes. All right. I included crystals for intuition. A lot of times you guys will message me or call me and say, "Hey, my significant other or somebody wants to buy me some crystals for Christmas. What should I ask for? Well, if you are still working on your crystal collection or starting it, or you just want some things, I thought I'd include a little list of good crystals for intuition: amethyst, clear quartz, labradorite, lapis, and moonstone. Labradorite and moonstone are in the same family. But at any rate, those are all really good stones for carrying around, meditating with, keeping on your nightstand to help boost your intuition. Okay. The energy exercise Christy brings us this week is the clear your bubble exercise, which is going to be amazing for all you empaths that have had enough of everybody in your freaking space. Empaths are super introverted right now and want everyone to get the hell off. Heart Happenings with Ginger. She's got fun scopes for us that are Christmas songs and messages for all of the zodiac, which I thought were super fun. So let's just read one. Let's do Libra. She said, "Hi, Libra. The angels and guides sing, 'I saw mommy kissing Santa Claus.' They say this is symbolic of potential romance this week, whether it was simply with another or simply pampering yourself. So, working on relationships. Love it. Okay. And of course, there's more crime. My God, did you guys hear about this Robert Hoagland deal? Okay. Not to get too true crimey, but I have to tell you this story really fast. I did a whole story on it this morning that came out, so you can go watch it if you want. But Robert Hoagland went missing from Newtown, Connecticut, right after Sandy Hook. Was that Connecticut? I think it is. Yeah. Right after Sandy Hook, like 7 months after Sandy Hook. So that whole town was still in like total chaos. His wife was actually a teacher at the high school. It, it was awful. Like, that was such a horrible time for that community. Well, she went on vacation, and when she came home, he was supposed to pick her up from the airport, and he didn't, and he was never seen again. His son had seen him at home that morning, and he was never seen again. And the son, one of the sons, had a drug problem and they'd had some run-ins with some people. This Robert Hoagland, the dad, had had a altercation with a pipe with some of this guy's dealer friends who had stolen the laptops out of this home, and he fought him with a metal pipe to get them back. Like, there'd been some real issues. So a lot of people blamed the son, whether it was him or some of his druggy friends. They blamed him for a long time. Anyway, blah blah blah. Dad never showed up. They searched for him for years. Nothing. Well, last Monday in New York, in Rock Hill, New York, about 90 minutes away from where this guy lived. About 90 minutes away is all. Um, there was a 911 call, a man in cardiac arrest. The ambulance and the police came, and his roommate said his name was Richard King. But they couldn't find any ID on this guy that indicated his name was Richard King. And finally, after he died, and just he had a heart attack. After they looked through his stuff, they found some paperwork indicating that his name was actually Richard or Robert Hoagland. And they knew who Robert Hoagland was, so they matched up his prints and his face, and yeah, it's Robert Hoagland. Dude's been living 90 minutes from his home for the last 9 years, and his family had no idea where he was. They don't know why he left. They don't know. Really sad that the son has been blamed for this for all these years, very unfairly. But also, now they'll never know, I guess. There's this part of me that hopes that in his belongings that maybe there's some journals or some paperwork or something that would indicate why he did that. Big questions about how the hell has this guy been taking care of himself for the last 9 years? I mean, you could walk away and disappear in the, you know, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, maybe even 90s, but now, how do you just fall off the grid? How do you work? How do you go to the doctor? How do you do anything that requires ID? How do you have a bank account? How? I mean, yeah, maybe he found someone that he was able to buy fake paperwork from, maybe? I don't know. There's a lot we don't know. But I think that case is pretty dumbfounding. Very sad for his family, what he put them through. Wow. But is that not the wildest story? Whew, that's all. Anita brings us Archangel Gabriel. This is how AI imagined Archangel Gabriel, which I loved it and I kept it because some people do see Archangel Gabriel as a woman, as Archangel Gabrielle. And when I typed my prompts into AI, this is what it gave me. So we kept it. Archangel Gabrielle. We'll take it. So there you go. That is Luminous this week. So hopefully you find some gems in there, some things that you can benefit from. And as always, thank you to all of the contributors that help me put Luminous out every week. I could not do it without the help I get. There's no way I could write that much. So, I mean, there's some way, but still, it's too much. At any rate, all righty. Well, let's keep moving. Yeah, he died. Yeah. Well, no wonder there's been all of these unsubstantiated sightings of him over all these years. He's been there. Good God. Anyway, his wife actually moved to Australia a couple of years after he went missing. And I wonder, and took one of the sons with her. The other sons, I think, moved out of state. It's probably easier for him to subsist like that because nobody was really even in the area anymore, is what I'm thinking. Okay, let's jump into a few questions from the chat room. Okay. Mary would love to know if there are any big changes coming her way. Let's throw a few cards for you, Mary, and just find out what the next few months are going to bring to you. Let's see, who asked me? I think Pamela asked. Am I going to do 12-month readings this year? Yes. I'm not going to open them up and start them until January 1 because what happened last year is I started them like probably nowish and it was way too much for me. I don't know what I was thinking with Christmas and with my kids coming home, and it about killed me. And so this year I went, you know what? I'm not even going to offer them until after the first of the year so that I have time for them and I can be more thoughtful with them and have the energy for them. So yes, I am doing them, but I'm not going to even put up a link and start offering them until January 1st. So I know. Look at me setting a boundary for myself. I know. I actually suck at this, but here I am, so it's good. Okay. All right, Mary. I'm just going to pull 3 cards, just asking what we need to know for you for the next few months. And we'll go from there. By the way, you know what next week's show is going to be? Well, winter solstice, obviously, but also it'll be my Christmas giveaway show. It'll be my last show of the year. I am also taking the week between Christmas and New Year's off. I'm not going to have a show. Also, very hard to do when my kids are home. It's chaos. They have stuff they want to do. It's just too much. So I'll still be working. I'll be on the lines and I'll be present there, but I'm not going to do a show. So next week will be my last show of the year. And again, it's the Christmas giveaway show. So you want to be here because you know I give away good stuff. Plus, this will be a day or two after our last Christmas fair. So I'm going to have some really good stuff. I know that. All right, Mary. I don't know. The first card is discontent and boredom. I think that's kind of where you are now. I mean, I know you have plenty to do, so you're not particularly bored, but a bit discontent. I mean, you've done a lot of really awesome traveling here in this last year or two, and I feel like next year will bring some really good travel as well. You've become quite the little thrifter, right? Where you are able to put together trips that other people could only dream of for prices that also other people could only dream of. So I feel like there's definitely more of that. But right now, I think you're a bit discontent and need something to look forward to in the new year. So maybe it's time to start planning that next big adventure if you haven't already. But that's where you are right now, I think, a little uncomfy in your skin. The next card is spiritual strength. I feel like this is you as the matriarch of your family, propping up some other people that need some of yours, that need some wisdom from you, need some guidance from you, really need some support from you. And then the last card is the memories of love card. This card sometimes indicates some grief, and I feel like it will for you because you've had some loss this year, and always mourning your friend as well and others. So it looks like some grief and loss here. Coming up here in the next while. Uh, Not more loss, just the loss you've had. That doesn't indicate to me there's any big things coming in the next few months, except for potentially some travel or at least some plans for travel coming forward. So, some good stuff, but also some reminders and warnings here to be gentle and kind with yourself and to just keep your eyes out because you are going to have some family members that really need something from you, some support, some wisdom. Sometimes, Mary, I think you discount your role in your family as the crone, the wise woman, and sometimes that's just very called for. People need your voice. Okay. Jane, are you doing readings still in New Jersey, concerned about weather, plus Max's health and winter driving? I'd love a message. Yeah, let's take a peek. Max is definitely depleting. He's definitely slowly sliding downhill. I'll say that I don't feel like he's uncomfortable. I feel like sometimes he has kind of nervous episodes where I think it might actually be his heart doing some like an arrhythmia where he feels very nervous because his heart's beating really hard and then it settles back down. I feel this really nervous feeling in his chest, his heart pounding, and then that settling down. At first, I thought, is Max actually having like anxiety or panic attacks? No, I feel like it's the heart doing a little thingy, and then him feeling that and feeling anxious, and then he's good. Uh, so there is that with Max. Unfortunately, Jane, since you're going from coast to coast, you're definitely going to hit some weather. I mean, you could always wait and not come home until like March or April and, give it a chance to get better. But I think you're ready to come home sooner than that. With the driving, however, give yourself a ton of time. Max is going to be fine. He doesn't love the travel, but he also knows how to do it. He's done it before, and it'll give you an opportunity to come home slowly. Obviously, plan your trip around the best weather you can find. And then, if you need to spend an extra day or two in certain places for weather to settle down, do that. I suspect for the very most part, you'll be fine. And you'll have, certain stretches of the way that the weather is pretty rough. But in those areas, you got to know that these are states that typically do take great care of the highways. So if you were in town driving, I'd be worried. But since you'll be mostly on the highways, most of the states do an excellent job cleaning up the highways. So I think you'll be fine. I feel like you just need to plan for more time to take it slow. But I know you're ready to go home. I don't blame you. All right, Robin. Could I ask for a clearing, please? I'm still dealing with health issues, wound on foot, and now they're talking about surgery. Thank you in advance. Dang it, Robin. I'm sorry. Yep, let's take a look. Yeah, I suspect that is definitely going to turn into a surgery situation. Honestly, Robin, my gut feeling on this is if they want to do surgery, don't put it off. Don't don't try a million things to try to avoid surgery. I feel like surgery is inevitable, and if they want to do it, go for it. It's going to help a lot. All right, but I'm doing a good clearing for you. You have a lot of energy tight around your neck, like around your throat and your voice. Okay. One thing I'm hearing is like within the medical community, you're kind of having a hard time being heard or understood. And that when you get into appointments, you kind of clam up and forget what you were going to say or get uh, maybe even a little self conscious or weird about saying it. Write some notes, post it note, index card, something that you can have in your pocket that you can literally hand to the doctor or nurse with your concerns so that it's there in writing so that you can not chicken out and so that they have to address the stuff that you have handed to them. Good. Okay. All right. So I cleared away a lot of just energetic sludge and debris. I'm just clearing your aura real quick here. And then a little extra work there on that throat to help unleash your voice here. Good. Oh, that's so much better in your throat, Robin. So, so much better. Okay. Keep us posted. All right. Pamela said, I've had so much going on with my health, family stuff, and my sick little kitty. Any silver linings ahead at all? Let's pull you a few cards too. Okay. Pamela, I know it has been a lot, and I wondered how our little Reese's is doing. I know you've got quite a sick kitty on your hands. You, you're an excellent nurse. All right. Base chakra, heart chakra, and spiritual strength. So, right now, of course, it's been about your foundation. It's been about family and health. I mean, that's about as foundational as it gets, you know? That's where the focus is. It's where the focus has been. However, what I see you doing is moving into more of a heart centered space. I feel like after the holidays, you're going to see yourself move into more of a introverted place where you are kind of just focused more on your stuff, not in a negative way, though. This feels like a very content way, a content place to be. I feel like some of the family stuff has settled down at this point. Also, I feel like maybe your flares and stuff are a bit more under control, and you can focus more on things that you love and want to do, versus all the mundane that you've been hit with lately. I also feel like this will be a really sweet time for you to continue nursing Reese's and just giving your kitty more of your time and care and attention, and just a sacred place. And then the last card is the spiritual strength card. This is like February-ish. And I feel like this card comes up when that's what you again, I feel like and maybe it's that winter solstice energy, right? Because I feel like you're very contemplative here. Maybe you're doing some reading or you're doing some writing or even, you know, maybe some making. I don't know. I know your hands have been struggling too, but um but I feel like it's a very heart-centered place and it really moves into February here. So peace and contentment, those are the silver linings. And time to give to that kitty and to you to just be. Maya said, thank you for the help this weekend. I have another work question. Any ideas of what I should be looking for? Should I continue to stay in the natural products industry? A few of my former coworkers went into the legalized pot industry, but I've never used marijuana. Help. You could still go into the marijuana industry easily. Maya, it wouldn't surprise me at all to see you leave the natural products industry or at least branch out. I absolutely could see you move into the marijuana industry or the even just like the CBD angle of it. There's a lot of work there. And especially for people like you that have specialized for so long and have contacts and have, know their way around the system. I feel like there's a huge opportunity for you there. And because you have other employees, friends that have moved into that industry, might be able to help you find a good niche. It doesn't matter if you don't use, that doesn't matter at all. This would be more about connecting dispensaries and growers or producers of product and stuff like that. You know, you'd need some education, but so would anyone. I mean, it's not that shouldn't have to stop you, in other words. And so, in a sense, you'd stay in the natural products industry. But I guess my point is, I don't think you'll stay doing exactly what you've been doing. I see a twist on that. Jane said, if I ever travel in a van, I want to come make cookies with you. Sounds like such fun. Yeah, I've dreamed for years of us putting together a retreat in a big cabin, like up in the Yellowstone area, where we could all gather for, several days and do just that. I don't know if we'll ever pull it off, but wouldn't it be fun? Scott has always said that he'd host it and do the cooking and the driving and picking people up from the airport and such. Someday. Sid said, would love if you would please check in with my patchouli pup and ask her if she feels that her head, brain, sinuses, and ears have improved in these past 2 weeks, and if her eyesight, or the wood surface that makes her reluctant to walk on the boardwalk. Okay, let me tune into both of those things. Somewhat better. There's still some pressure in her eyes, but it's not a lot, like behind her eyes. So yes, Sid, I would say that she feels like it's somewhat better. Yes. So that feels like on the right track. All right, let me show her the boardwalk and find out what the deal is there. Oh, it's both. Eyesight definitely plays a role, but the texture of the wood really throws her off. It's also, that it's the planks. Like she doesn't like the fact that there could be underneath, not solid ground underneath her, maybe. So here's what I'm showing her is that anytime you're walking her, she is completely safe and that you would never take her onto a surface that isn't safe. And so I'm just asking her to please trust you. And as you walk her anywhere you go, if you're walking on it and you're guiding her onto it, it's because you know that it's safe and that you would never take her somewhere that isn't. And she does trust that. Okay. So hopefully that'll help get her, walking better on the boardwalk so you guys can go out and have your walks without some drama. Let's see. JR said, can I get a health reading? I believe I have the flu, but it keeps coming back. Or is it COVID? Do you see me getting well soon? Let's feel into it, JR. No, I think it is a COVID strain that's just lingering. Yeah, I do feel like you're going to get better soon. You're still going to need to be super careful and gentle with yourself for a few weeks. Really, really good rest, really good self care. You're really going to need it, JR. If you were one of my kids, I would tell you to make sure you're getting vitamin D every morning, that you're drinking an emergency every day, and that you're getting some zinc for what it's worth. Okay. Jessica said, new thing here. My sister does wreaths and I do jewelry, plus we do other crafts. Do you think we would be successful if we start selling together? I do, Jessica. I feel like combining what you guys do makes you more eclectic, and also just combining your energies together and your efforts would help so that nobody's reinventing the wheel alone, and that you guys would actually really have a lot of fun doing this together. Yeah. Jacqueline said, I want to thank you again for the energy healing the other night on the right side of my neck. It is much better, though still sore and aching. If you have time, will you please give my neck another look? Yeah, absolutely, Jacqueline. Let's go for it. Okay, so last time I ran ribbons of sterling silver. I think we'll do that again. So I'm going to run sterling silver ribbons from the top of your head all the way down that right side, down your arm, and out your hand. So that's one. I'll do that 3 times. And why? Because the sterling silver ribbons are amazing for helping to cut down inflammation and cooling. All right, and then we're going to put a chi ball, just invoking the energy of aquamarine, the crystal aquamarine. I'm going to put a big chi ball, Jacqueline, in the side of your neck again. This is just a duplication of what I did last time. Since that helped, we won't reinvent the wheel. Good. And that aquamarine is also for cooling and cutting down inflammation. Because if we could get the inflammation to stop there, you'd feel better. Okay. Sean said, I have found new sisters via Ancestry. Do you think we will meet in person in 2023? We haven't made an effort to meet. I brought it up, but I get fear for some reason. Meeting in person doesn't seem like a priority for some involved. It doesn't feel personal. Not sure what's going on. Actually, I feel like you will, though I feel like it'll be summer. I feel like, unfortunately, I feel like some of those siblings just have a lot of trauma in their lives, a lot of chaos in their lives, and adding yet another thing to do feels really hard. But I feel like there is a sibling that's going to help kind of lead the charge and get everybody together and put something together in the summer. So I feel like that will happen. And good for you, Sean. That's pretty exciting. Yeah, I love it. Okay. Okay, Sheila would like a card for her situation with her older brother. She said, we are worried. Let's take a look. Mary, thinking about a cruise. Oh, Mary. Okay. You have to, you can get the seasickness stuff or the patch behind your ear, but the key is that you have to start using it a few days before you leave. If you start it the day you leave, you're too late. So you have to do the thing to be able to, to not get sick. I know that's hard, but you have to do it a few days in advance and then keep it up the whole time. But a Panama Canal cruise, yes, please. That sounds amazing. The card, Sheila, is triumphant success. So I'm holding space for him that he's going to pull this together right now and get on top. Okay. Okay. I think I better jump into the other chat. We're like out of time for readings, but I wanted to make sure that I know I'm not going to get to all of you guys, and I apologize for that. Oh, Rebecca had asked about her heroin addicted coworker. Any messages about her supplier, who I guess comes into the restaurant sometimes, or maybe if you can do anything to help, like say anything to my coworker, managers, etc. Rebecca, a good part of it is just really staying away from that. I think the energy of it is very damaging for you. You can feel it. I feel like you can taste it. Like it's really the energy of the users is strong for you. Though I do feel like it's absolutely fair to, yeah. Unless you see a deal happen, I don't feel like saying anything to your managers will do you any good. Unfortunately, I feel like they may not take that very well. So you're definitely in a place of self sustaining here. I'll tell you too, though, I don't really feel like there's an opportunity here for you to fix her or change her at all. She's just going through her shit. Okay. All right. We got to do our Kathleen Peterson message or we're going to run out of time. Quanti or Raziel? I think it's Raziel. Kind of landed in the middle. Archangel Raziel. I think we had this last week. Maybe it was Quanti. Okay. I come today to talk to you about leadership and what you, as spiritual beings on the earth plane, can do as you move further into the 21st century. It is important for you to look inside yourselves and know what you want in a leader. I am called a warrior because when I lived on the earth plane, I was a warrior, but one who eventually chose understanding and acceptance of differences rather than fear and control, which causes war and strife. What kind of leader do you want? What kind of leader are you? It is time for all to go into the innermost recesses of your soul and ask, what can I do now to bring peace to myself and those around me? It begins with you. The more often you operate from fear and control, the more it propagates that behavior in others. Fear is very powerful, and the more fearful you are, the more control you wish to have. When you come from a place of understanding and compassion, both for yourselves and others, then you can work with others to reach a mutually supportive decision. The more you accept yourself and everything about you, the less you rely on the approval of others. This, therefore, opens you up to the idea that you don't always have to be right and not everyone has to agree with you. This, in turn, allows others to express themselves and hopefully begin to accept that they are perfect just the way they are with their own opinions and ideas. Fear and control block this experience from all concerned. Fear and control, whether it exists in a family, a business, or government, is meant to stifle self expression and creativity. Think about where you are in this. Where do you operate? Are you fearful? And if so, how can you release the fear so that you can empower yourself and others to be the most creative, open, caring person they can be? I will help you release your fears and need to control. Call on me when you question how your behavior is affecting you. The more you come from understanding, the more at peace you will be within yourself, and the more power you will have to live your life from the highest place. This will open your heart and your life to unexpected blessings. So I leave you with this: release your fears, and your need to control will be released as well. And of course, that is our sweet message from Kathleen Peterson for the day. Guys, we've done it. We have talked down to the end of the show. I want to thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you. Don't forget that next week is the holiday giveaway show, the Christmas giveaway show. You want to be here, I promise. You want to be here anyway. Thanks so much, you guys. Take care. I'm a professional psychic advisor over at one2listen.com. Come over and see me anytime. This has been the Katie Weaver Show here on 12 Radio, where we're changing the way you listen to the world.